Good day, everyone, and welcome to the Grumpy Old Gamers podcast. You can't teach an old gamer new tricks. I'm Ryan, and I got the Grumpy Gang in the house with me tonight. We got Rob.
Hey, everybody.
We got Damon.
That's me. I'm Damon. How's it going, guys?
And we got Brent. Oh, I think Brent's audio just cut out as he said his stuff there.
Oh, no, he's good.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just because I waved my hand in front of the mic.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we are off to a great start. So I'm going to start things off by sincerely apologizing. I checked, and the last time we posted an episode was October 14th.
What an episode.
But what an episode that one was. We've had a folly of people working, people getting sick, people just... We could not get this show together, but the stars have aligned, and we are here tonight.
I'm not actually here.
Rob's not actually here.
Yeah. Rob is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Machine learning.
I'm powered by Stadia.
Oof.
I want to read that.
Oof. We're gonna lose you here pretty soon. Is what you're.
Yeah, and then we'll get a refund after.
Can someone reset Rob's camera, please? I think he's stuck again.
Oh, sorry guys. What did I miss?
All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm going to move into a little bit of housekeeping here, and so having 2 months between shows, a lot of stuff has happened. We're going to try and hit the big stuff. But really, we're going to talk mostly about the Video Game Awards. That's going to be our big topic tonight. But in housekeeping, Rob did a Halloween stream about 6 weeks ago. Raising money for the mustard seed here in Edmonton, right?
You bet. Thank everyone for watching it 2 months ago, if you remember. It was a great time. Got raised a bunch of money. It was really good.
What games did you play again?
I barely remember. Resident Evil 4.
Oh, right.
That
Evil Within 2?
Thank you. That was the other one.
And Dead Space.
Dead Space, yes.
Right,
yeah,
right.
When I logged in, you were playing Dead Space.
Yeah, that was a game.
Yeah.
It was... Yeah.
Well, because... As I'm mentioning again, that was like 6 weeks ago. We've moved on to our next fundraiser, and we're doing a Christmas fundraiser for the Edmonton Food Bank. And we will be doing all the same things we've done the last couple of years here. Everyone who donates gets entered in a draw, and we've got some prizes we're putting together for people. I think right now we just have one game. And I'm not sure, Rob's frantically looking around for something else to throw into the pot.
This HP Switch?
Oh.
I don't know. I really shouldn't give that away.
Is that a Trigabit Switch?
It's a Quadra.
Yeah. Perfect.
Quadraphone.
So anyways, on December 22nd, which is not even quite 2 weeks from now, we're going to be doing our Bean Boozled challenge, and we're throwing down this year. We're going to do the hot ones instead, which should be interesting. I'm just going to buy a 4-liter of milk, 4-liter of milk to go with that.
Carolina Reapers for everybody.
Whew. Hamana. But yeah, we've got there'll be links in the show notes and on our pages where you can donate to the Edmonton Food Bank. Always a great cause.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be pushing for donations on December 22nd there, as we're killing our bodies with super spicy jelly beans.
Yeah,
Except for me.
we'll have links for the live stream in the page.
Absolutely. And, I was going to talk about Buzzsprout now, but since it's been 2 months since our last show, I haven't even checked if those links are still active. So, but you know what? I'll give them a freebie. How about that? Buzzsprout, that's who we use for our audio podcasts, and they make it super easy to do this podcasting thing. If only they had a way to schedule people. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, we did pay them last month for not doing anything.
Yeah. But I got the report, and actually people have been going back and downloading our old episodes. So
sweet.
Yeah. So that's great. So Buzzsprout, good people. They put up with our crap.
What a tagline! They're good people, and they put up.
They're
with
good
our
people.
crap. Buzzsprout.
Except for you, Billy. You're an ass.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
some
Speaking of our crap.
yeah. So I'm gonna move us on into news here now. In that 2-month time, some significant birthdays and anniversaries have happened. Mortal Kombat turned 30 on October 8th. They had celebrated their 30th anniversary. Can you guys believe that game's 30 years old?
No.
I do. I remember the first time I played Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can too. As such a Street Fighter 2, watching it in the arcade, I was never any good at playing it, but loved watching it. And then one day that Mortal Kombat's right next to it, and I was like, Mother of God, what is this? Yeah.
Ripped his spine out.
Those people look real!
One of the games responsible for the foundation of the ESRB.
That's right. Correct.
That and Night Trap.
I was going to say Night Trap's the other one.
Night Trap's the other one.
Yeah.
One of them aged a little better than the other.
Just a wee bit.
Also, we had the PlayStation 3 celebrated its 16th birthday on November 17th, and the Xbox 360 celebrated its 17th on November 22nd. And I was really out of touch with consoles then. I didn't realize that there's basically a year between these releases.
Yep.
That's kind of crazy. Because then they matched up with their the PS4 and Xbox One releases. Those ones were within weeks, if not months, of each other. But that also leads to
New ones.
That also leads to a new to the current gen's anniversary. And can you believe that we passed the 2-year anniversary for Xbox Series and PS5?
Wow.
2 years.
Congratulations on them actually selling 10,000 units.
Yeah.
Not because people wouldn't buy them, that's just all they made.
Yeah.
So, good on them.
Yeah. And you still hear everybody refer to it as next gen instead of current gen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's like coming up on the next gen systems. It's like they've been out for 2 years.
Yeah. it might be current.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll still probably be seeing it when the next Xbox and PlayStation come out.
More than likely.
Yeah.
I mean, just on some of the pages I follow on that, it seems like there's going to be or they've been really ramping up production on them. It seems like a lot of people are going to be getting them for Christmas this year.
Hey.
So that's good. This feels more like it should have felt like when,
Exactly.
2 years ago.
Only took 2 years, yeah.
It only took 2 years.
Well, I was just didn't mean to interject, but before I forget,
Mm-hmm.
I was just reading that developers are claiming that they actually have the new PS5 Slim, and they're working on them, and they're saying it's pretty damn good, and
Right.
it should be out probably middle of next year.
Ah,
And that's the one with the detachable
Yes.
optical drive, right?
It just reminded me of it because you were saying about getting things into production. So now, since Sony only has to make one unit rather than making 2 separate units, they should be able to pump out more PlayStation 5s and have things a lot more streamlined.
Yeah.
oh, interesting.
Also, in our big hiatus there, we had to say goodbye to a legendary channel. Rest in peace, G4.
For the second time.
For the second time.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of unceremoniously. I think previous to the actual shutdown, like the month before, they had massive layoffs, and a lot of the talent that we
Yeah.
like were watching it for were let go, and it was a mess. And then
Finding out they lost their jobs on Twitter.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
and yeah. So I mean, I tried to keep up with their stuff, but like to just be supportive or whatever. But it I watched stuff here and there. I wasn't like religiously watching it weekly as they were putting stuff out. It was good stuff. I like Adam Sessler, so been meaning to look up where he's landed.
yeah. He was the real reason why I was interested in watching it again.
Yeah. Uh, anyone else got anything to say about G4?
No.
Rob will pour one out for them.
Yep.
So also, during our hiatus, the PSVR 2 price and release date came out. And
Sure did.
Yes.
it'll be coming on February 22nd for, and this is in Canadian, $749.99. Whew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. How do you feel about that, Ryan?
Well, I mean, good and bad, I guess. I mean, I'm not gonna rush out to get one of these, but it seems like more of a premium product than the first PSVR was, and it's definitely got a premium price tag on it because of that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. I mean, also too, if you look at like, the PSVR headset, buying all the peripherals, the Move controllers, and other things, it really added up to where they're almost comparable, except that like as Ryan was saying, now you're getting a much more advanced product, but still a hefty price.
I mean, the first PSVR, like I think it was because the one I bought had the helmet and the or no, I just got the helmet because I had the Move controllers from previous, and I guess I mean that was 400, 350. I think I paid for it.
Yeah, I think it's what I paid for my set too. The one with the moss and the other game. The one with the little robots. That was awesome.
Right.
I can't remember.
Astrobot.
There you go.
Astrobot, yeah.
There you go.
Great game.
Was.
Great.
Actually, absolutely was.
Brent, do you have any feelings about this?
I'm on the fence. I mean, I suffer from vertigo, so the last time I tried a VR headset was 1995 at the exhibition playing Doom, and loved the hell out of it when I was playing at it, and I became severely nauseated when I got out, so it wasn't too fun. But I mean, the improvements that they're talking about are, what they're saying is that it won't be as bad from people that suffer from motion sickness and vertigo, and they'll actually be able to use it. So maybe at some point in time down the line, if there's an incentive sale, maybe next year or something, Boxing Day, whatever, I might actually look to pick one up.
Yeah,
give it a shot.
they're greatly increasing the refresh rate,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the biggest things that causes your
yes.
motion sickness in there. Damon, how do you feel about the PSVR 2?
I don't have a PS5, so I'm pretty ambivalent towards the PSVR 2, but it's I think it's steep. I think that price has got to come down. I think there's always the early adopters, but I think even especially right now, that's $750 is a big ticket.
And you need a console with that
Right,
as well.
Yeah.
So you're tacking on another 500 just right off the bat. But I mean, this thing's comparable to the one that you would buy for your PC, like what's
The
the
Oculus?
Steam? Oculus, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they priced it. I think they looked at
Sure.
the PC offering and they're like, oh, hey, look what's going on over there. And I'm like, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So that is coming in the new year for everybody. What else we got here? Rob,
Hey.
we're gonna call on you for this next story.
Hey.
Tell us about Stadia.
Well, Stadia's been offering. They've been starting to process the refunds for the that they were offering for people who purchased the hardware and the games. At least that's what I hear, because they sent me an email saying I was getting refunds for 4 games and the system, and so far I've received a refund for 1 game. So they did mention to give them some time, and also that if your credit card that you used was different at different stages, it might be sitting at your bank and you have to phone the bank.
Some guy at
But-
Google just writing out checks one by one.
Yeah, just his handwriting.
Okay.
It does seem like I got refunds for the ones at the later stage, so I'm not sure if my expiry date changed or something. I don't know. So I still gotta phone my bank and figure it out. But so far I've gotten about 15% of the refunds that I'm supposedly already processed. So it's Stadia. It's working at about 20% of what it should. So
The refunds are lagging.
exactly. So
So this is all working as expected, is what
it's pretty much, yeah.
is what
Yeah.
we're saying here.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on. Let us know if is any other Stadia users out there having the same kind of issues, because I'd love to know if I'm the only one that just got. And it's been like 3 weeks for the games, so like they said, it might take 14 days or so, and I just didn't get most of the games refunds. So I got an email saying they did, but so yeah.
Awesome. I'm just glad it's happening. Honestly, like that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing, right? Like,
That's the thing. They didn't have to do it.
That's
So
true.
it's like I'm no worse off than I was before. And my Evercade's coming in a few days here by EXP, so I don't even care about the Stadia. Screw that.
so I didn't add it as a news story, but do you want to kind of just share off the top of your head the crazy
Oh, yeah.
circumstances around this new Evercade?
Sure, absolutely. They so Evercade EXP, they have the launch. They had the 2 flavors. They had the regular ones like what I got, and they had the limited edition black ones. And so one retailer, you could only buy the limited edition ones from one retailer, and evidently all of them got stolen at some point. I don't remember if it was in a truck or if it was, but they basically had to tell everyone, hey, so if you ordered a limited edition one, it's gone.
What a story.
So
A full-on heist.
yeah, somebody was, and that's the thing, because it was the only place you could get them from. You can't resell them,
Yeah, like
because everyone would be like, why the hell do you have one?
yeah,
So
someone's gonna be selling like yellow ones, and they're just gonna be like spray painted, like.
So I haven't checked lately. I'm assuming they're going to get them regular ones, but I don't know how many of those. I don't know how sold out they were. I don't know anything like that. But if I was a collector, I'd be pretty choked.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the most 2022 thing that could have happened, honestly, with them. So
All right. Well,
Wow.
let's move on into the video game awards. They happened last Friday? Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
sure,
Days just have no meaning anymore.
No.
Like it's,
no,
is it a work day? Okay. Yeah, December 9th. So, and we're going to go through the list of winners here pretty quick. We can chat about how you guys feel about some of these. Game of the year. Was there any surprise? Was anyone surprised with what they chose as game of the year?
A little.
Little? Well,
Yeah.
it was Elden Ring from Software was voted Game of the Year at the Video Game Awards. Um, what do you think should have taken it, Brent?
Ah, well, no personal opinion, but I thought for sure God of War Ragnarok would have taken that spot. But Elden Ring is pretty big, and I've liked all the From Software games, even as brutal as they are. And um, if it deserves it, it deserves it. But I thought for sure that God of War would have been Game of the Year.
See, I don't know how the voting works for the Video Game Awards because I mean, Elden Ring had almost a whole year on God of War. Like it came out last
Yeah.
February, right? Or January or February last year, or this year.
Roughly, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it made a lot more of an impression, I think.
I think so.
The only game in the Game of the Year category that was kind of a surprise, and I'm just wondering if they put it in there to kind of have Nintendo in there too, was
Yeah.
the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was added to the Game of the Year list. Not that it's not a Game of the Year contender, it's just not the well-known like Elden Ring or God of War.
I think they had. I don't know. I think maybe Nintendo was thrown. They had we got to put some Nintendo in there. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm not sure how that works. I don't know how the
Gotta have
nominations.
the token Nintendo.
Yeah. There would have been riots in the street if there was no Nintendo. Right?
So best game direction went to Elden Ring. Best narrative went to God of War. Best art direction, which I guess is different from game direction, went to Elden Ring. Best score and music went to God of War.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, best audio design went to God of War. Best performance, Christopher Judge as Kratos.
Oh yeah, that I can see.
And I don't understand this category, games for impact. Does that mean like...
Sort of sounds like a
Categories are
social,
strange.
yeah, like a socially aware game
Okay.
or something, like maybe.
As Dusk Falls won that. I think I've seen that on Game Pass.
Citizen Sleepers on Game Pass as well. That was nominated. It's a good game.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Best ongoing game went to Final Fantasy XIV. Best indie game went to Stray. That one was almost...
That makes sense. Absolutely.
It was almost a no-brainer. Best mobile game went to Marvel Snap.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap!
Yeah.
Best community support went to Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh wow. Not surprised. No.
Innovations in accessibility went to God of War Ragnarok. It's not surprising, like Sony's really seeming to double down on their first-party titles with that. Like with because you hear Last of Us 2 and even oh my goodness, the game with the girl and the bow and arrows and the robot.
Horizon.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Or Forbidden West.
Yeah, but they have some great accessibility options.
But
Oh yeah.
Grounded wasn't nominated, and it had arachnophobia mode, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Has it ever actually completely come out, or is it still in like quadruple beta?
It was officially
Okay.
launched this year. Yeah.
Okay.
In October it was officially
Yeah.
launched. Yeah.
I wonder what
Okay.
the cutoff is for the Game Awards, because like there's games that came out, like the new Need for Speed, and there's a few other odds and ends that that have come out, and they didn't appear anywhere in the Game Awards either. So there must be a cutoff date.
Oh, sure.
Well, God of War, that was a November release date or October? It's fairly recent. Like, it's been since our last show. So, somewhere in that month.
November 9th.
Yeah.
When it came out.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pretty late cutoff. That's what, like I said, that's why I wonder how who does the voting on these
Dominion voting machines.
Dominion voting machines. The best VR AR game went to Moss Book 2, which I still like to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moss Book 1 was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a surprise one. Best action game went to Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. It didn't sound like it was as critically well received as
Yeah. But I mean, it's weird, like so they have best action game, which in the choices were Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu or Saifu, however you say that, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Those are the best action game nominees. But then you go the next category, best action adventure. God of War Ragnarok won it. And A Plague Tale, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic were in this. But then you get best role-playing game, and Elden Ring won that. And Live Alive, or Live Alive? Live Alive?
Live Alive.
Live Alive.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends, Acreus, Triangle Strategy, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 were in the best role-playing. So... yeah. What else we got here? We got best fighting game went to Multiverse, which I've been hearing some cool things about, and I've been meaning to try. I think that's a Warner Brothers game, where it's all Warner Brother IPs battling it out. Best family game went to Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Best sim strategy went to Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. I've not had a chance to try that yet, but I'm eagerly awaiting to. Best sport racing went to Gran Turismo 7.
Really?
All right. Best multiplayer went to Splatoon 3. As it should. Content creator of the year was Ludwig. Congrats, Ludwig.
Congrats.
Best debuted indie
Was not us. That hurts.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I guess we'd have to release things.
We'd have to actually have a regular release schedule, I think, for to be considered.
Yeah.
Best debut indie went to Stray. So that must mean best new game from a new company or whatever.
Yeah, it was their first game, and they did damn good for a first game.
Best adaptation. So this is talking about shows or something made off of existing games or whatever. And Arcane, the League of Legends, which was a cartoon or anime. Better get that right. On Netflix.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners was robbed. Just saying.
I've been hearing some good things about it. Did you check it out?
They were robbed. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not for the kids. For those listening.
No, definitely not. Definitely
not for the kids.
And then they had the most anticipated game category.
See, how do you even pick? That's why you know these things are shams. It's anticipated by who, right?
Well, yeah, that's why I want to know who votes on these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the games they had were Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4,
wow,
Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and that's the winner.
Because if you're talking the most amount of total anticipation, Beyond Good and Evil 2, they've been planning for 35 years, should have won.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe these are just games that are going to eventually come out.
And
That
a
might
little
be.
a little note on that one, Rob. That is now officially the
Yes.
longest development of any game in history.
Yeah.
It has beaten out Duke Nukem Forever.
We talked about it on the show when it actually
Oh, wow.
passed it, and
Yeah.
I felt sadness because that honestly, like that was the running joke for years. Is that
Yeah.
well, at least it's not Duke Nukem Forever. Now it is.
Now it is.
Yeah,
But at least that game turned out okay.
yeah, it was decent. Well, it wasn't great, but it was.
It wasn't great. No. I mean, it worked. It was a functioning game. That was at the end of the day. Yeah.
The rest of the stuff is esports stuff. And I don't follow any of that.
Yep.
But Valorant won best esports game.
There you go.
Let's move on into, the other big deal about the Game Awards. It's almost bigger than the actual awards themselves. Are all the announcements that happen. Who wants to share their favorite announcements first?
I can start.
All right,
Yeah.
Damon,
Well,
take the wheel.
the shout out for Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton was awesome. Just wanna put that out there. Don't know if anybody caught that.
Yeah. Do you wanna elaborate on that?
There was they got trolled during the Game of the Year award giveaway. So like after the developers were done accepting their award, there was some kid, some like 15 or 16-year-old kid that was behind them, and he just snuck his way up on stage and just stood quietly behind them while they did that. And then he decided when he got up to the mic that he would nominate Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton for Game of the Year.
Yeah, he's that kid has made things interesting. They said that he just a regular guy. He bought a ticket to the show, and just when they all got up to go accept their award, he got up with them, walked up,
Followed
with them.
right behind him, eh? That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
And the polite Japanese guys were just like, hey, well, I guess we'll just let this guy walk up with us. Not sure what's happening here, but
Yep, exactly.
But other than that,
And-
Damon,
But actually, I'm super excited for Hades 2.
yes,
I think that's probably the top of my list. Just Hades was such a fantastic game.
mm-hmm.
The amount of love that went in there. There's actually a documentary on the creation of the first Hades or for Supergiant Games. It's really good. Check that out. I watched the whole thing, and it's kind of really made me excited for anything that studio puts out. And yeah, apart from that, also kind of excited for The Last of Us on PC because I've never played it.
Oh,
You're in for a treat.
I've never played it. So just Sony in general kind of opening up and putting more things on PC for people like me. So, and the cat says hello. She thought Stray should have been Game of the Year. But,
Brent, why don't you? You're done, Damon. That was your.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, sure. The two things I was most excited for was Death Stranding 2. Even though I hadn't finished the first one, I was just so captured by the game that hearing about a sequel was just was completely awesome to me, and I kind of liked where they were going with it. A slightly older character. It looks so it probably, well, whether he was aged or has actually aged could be an interesting part of the story. I liked the trailer a hell of a lot. I thought it was very interesting. But again, being Hideo Kojima, they didn't quite, it's more of a teaser. They didn't quite reveal a lot, but what was there definitely intrigued me. And I'm quite interested to actually finish the first one and see where the second one will pick up, and whether it's an entirely kind of new
If you
story
finish
or
the
not.
first one, that trailer is a lot more significant to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
this is cool, but all right,
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to finish it and then go back and watch it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just haven't had the time to.
I skipped that trailer for that exact reason because I haven't finished the first one. So as soon as it came up, I'm like, I'm not watching this. Yeah.
That makes sense now. Damn it.
You had here post-trauma as well?
Oh yeah, honestly, I mean, for me, I mean, all the games are great, but that would be my number one standout. Even though it's not Silent Hill, and I'm a huge Silent Hill fan. The trailer gave me massive Silent Hill for the Room vibes. Like, it deals with a character who wakes up in looks like the underground of an abandoned building in this very surreal, like, dreamscape reality. And it looked creepy. It looked like there was lots of puzzle solving in it. A lot of depth to the gameplay, and I was deeply intrigued by it because as soon as I saw it, like the first few seconds, I was just thinking, Silent Hill 4. And one of my favorites of the Silent Hill series, even though most people didn't like it, I did. And so yeah, incredibly hyped for that one. That was probably the biggest out of all the games talked about that intrigued me the most.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Rob.
Yes.
What tickled your pickle?
That's an awful personal question.
Video game wise, come on.
Video games.
It's a family show, Rob.
All right, so I'm ready for
Perfect.
2 games from this show to break my heart. But I'll be on board for it. Is Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yes.
The trailer has me cautiously optimistic. It just they kind of expounded because like the first one was just basically all trailer. Well, this one was all trailer too, but I don't know. I just kind of got into the realm building on the trailer this time, and I'm like, okay, looks like they're putting some effort in it. And then the second one was, speaking of other companies that break your heart, is Diablo 4.
Yeah, we got an actual release date.
We got a release date. I can't wait for the first season pass, along with the I've never been so sure they're going to include monetary garbage in a game than with this one here. But it's Diablo. I mean, it's not Diablo Immortal, but
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, no, it's got me excited. Like, kind of continuing on with the story there, and lots of cool, gory deaths in the trailer, and yeah, there you go.
So, do you think if they're gonna make you pay for a full game, that they're gonna hit it heavily monetarily?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm just.
Yeah, I would too.
It's
not even one of those games I'm going to wait to see how badly they screw you over. I'm still going to pay for it. So just because it's Diablo.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
They threw Tyrael in the trailer, and
that was it.
Like, yeah, I'm ready. Hurt me, Blizzard. How about you, Ryan?
Well, one announcement had me fist pumping, and that was Dead Cells Return to Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
It's a DLC for the Dead Cells game, and I don't even care what it is. It's Castlevania in Dead Cells. They've done lots of little cool updates with other indie like kind of fighting games. There's one where of course I can't remember. There was 4 games that they added significant weapons from. The only one I can remember off the top of my head is Shovel Knight. So you can actually get the shovel that Shovel Knight uses. And then there's 3 other like popular indie games that they added in there. Oh, there was Curse of the Dead Gods, a gun and knife set that you pick up as well was another thing they added, and like those aren't levels; they're just weapons and little scenarios in the game that they added to existing levels. But this is full on DLC, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. There's no release date on it, just 2023. So I'm heavily looking forward to that. I mean, they showed a lot of stuff. We got a release date for Street Fighter 6 coming out in June. Bayonetta Origins was a what the announcement. Like a fun little RPG game featuring Bayonetta, and
Yeah, it's like an origin story, like isometric kind of
yeah,
interesting, and like right hot on the heels of Bayonetta 3 too. Like it's just came out, and they're like, oh, there's another one coming.
yeah, and it's soon. Like I think it's February or March or something. Like it was just right out of left field. Nobody had heard about that. But one of the worst secrets, Star Wars Jedi Survivor was announced too.
Yeah, coming out in middle of March, I think.
Yeah. The other thing that I rather enjoyed from there was the Super Mario trailer. The clip they showed, and it was a scene of Toad leading Mario through the Mushroom City, and all the other Toads were there too. And yeah, that little scene had so many Easter eggs in it. I've watched it a couple times, and there's so much going on in that background that I'm getting more and more excited for this movie.
Yep.
And just to tag it on, while in our hiatus there, that's the official word I'm going to use. It's hiatus.
We were on a break.
We were on a break. Another trailer. Another trailer was released for the Super Mario Brothers movie. What did you guys think of that one? The one previous to
Donkey Kong punching him in the face in the Smash
Yes.
Brothers. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That got me into it a little bit more.
Shows them doing some Mario karting as well. Like
Yes.
The more I see, the more I'm like, I need to see this movie. Like to the point where I'm like, I don't need to see anything else. I'm gonna go watch it. So.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I thought the second trailer was far better than the first one. I mean, the first one was good, but I'm just wondering why they just didn't lead off with the second one, because it was a lot more engaging and a lot more wow factor than the first one was.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's pretty quick though for them to release a second trailer though too. Like in terms of like movies, like usually they were calling that first one a teaser.
Sure.
And then the second one that they had was the actual trailer. So but yeah, I mean, there was a billion things announced. The only other one I'll mention here is they showed the DLC for Cyberpunk as well, and Idris Elba will be the main star of that, which is cool. Still not going to make me play the game, but you know.
I'm almost ready to play the game.
Yeah,
I'm almost there. Yeah.
We just have to work out a few more bugs. If there are still bugs, I don't know. I haven't looked into it forever.
There's bugs still. Not at least ones that don't break the game, supposedly. But,
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It'll be fully patched by 2027.
Well, not, I guess shortly before we recorded the last show, I put about 4 hours into it, Damon, and I have such a hard time with first person, like, action, or like action questing games like that, and it didn't grip me enough to
so like,
to get me over it.
Does that include Bethesda games?
Maybe. I've never really played a Bethesda game. So
Okay.
yeah, like I've never tried. I know it's not Bethesda, but I've never played like Far Cry. I've never played Fallout.
Mm.
I've never, I haven't played any of those games.
That's interesting.
Dishonored.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't
Okay.
tried any of those. So I know that if I don't know why it is, but like when you got to go like searching for stuff, and if there's any sort of platforming in the first person, it just pulls me out so quickly, and I'm just not interested for some reason.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention from the video game awards there?
No,
Can't think
no.
of anything.
The only this can kind of lead into our next thing, but one thing that's been mentioned a lot of was the lack of Xbox, Microsoft presence at the Video Game Awards. I mean, 3 years ago they announced and showed the Series X at the Video Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it 3 years, 4 years ago?
I think it was 3.
Time is irrelevant. Time is
Years,
irrelevant. But what do you guys think about that? The lack of Xbox. Like, I mean, a lot of the games announced will be on Xbox, but there there wasn't a first party Microsoft Xbox game in there, was there?
No, I think so.
No, don't think so.
Yeah. For an event like this, like I thought for sure
Yeah.
we'd see some Starfield.
It means they're not ready. Yeah, they're not ready. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. It's just they're not ready, and they just don't want to go and set off the fireworks if they're not quite ready to do so. So they just opted out.
Because I think they've announced mostly like a lot of their projects. Like we've seen stuff from the Coalition and the Initiative. We know they're working on Perfect Dark, and it's just people are expecting gameplay at this point in time, and if the gameplay isn't like what people want to see, or like the what they're releasing isn't good enough or not indicative of what they want the project to be down the road, then they're probably just like, we'll just do our own direct style event, or E3's, I guess, the next thing around the corner, right? So
Yeah.
That game, and it's like they're probably a little bit trepidatious after the showing off the first Halo Infinite stuff.
True.
exactly. Yeah.
True. Well, that can lead us into something that's been just dominating the news cycle for the last year, has been Xbox's acquisition of Activision. Whew, there we go. And they've been going to all the countries, and like the EU has given their I think did they give a blessing after they kind of got shown up that they're okay with the acquisition?
Yeah, I think they relaxed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
But it's the FCC that's
the FCC now is the
or sorry, FTC, the Trade Commission, whichever.
Yes.
The FCC, another like Communications Commission. But anyways, yeah, one of the boards is suing them now because they think it's going to break antitrust laws and whatnot. It's being they're not playing fair. But the irony in that is Microsoft has actually opened the floodgates for everybody, for all, like Nintendo, and they reached out to Valve, and they're like, you have a 10-year deal, and you can release it on the Steam Deck, and you can have Call of Duty on the Switch, and they basically invited everybody to the table, including Sony, and Sony's just like, no, what you're doing will make it so gamers won't be able to play these games, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But
No.
I guess that's what the lawyers will decide now.
Yep. Yeah, it's just like Sony's stance of, no, we can't have Game Pass on PlayStation, but do you want to put PlayStation Plus on Xbox? Which is what they kind of hit them with at one point.
right. And I mean, it's so funny. Like, I know they're not the same size as Activision, but I mean, they bought Bungie,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that
hmm
yeah, they were saying the Xbox will be the place for all of the top shooters, and it's like, wait, didn't you just buy Bungie? Like, just
Yeah.
Do you have no faith in their game? Man, I'm having a lot of trouble tonight.
Destiny.
I
Destiny.
hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
A little indie shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean,
I
oh, go ahead, Brent.
I don't think. Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say I don't think they. I mean, and they even admitted this that they don't. I don't think they necessarily just bought it for Destiny, because they've even said that they're going to utilize a lot of the Bungie team to make the other 10 or 20, you know, shooters that they were talking about that they're going to be putting out in the next while.
And how many of those do you think will be PlayStation exclusives?
Every single one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't really understand. Oh, sorry. That, getting a good game like that, a standout one, is really hit or miss. So, I mean, they're probably just saying, okay, well, we know this is why we're going to do 10 of them, and whichever one catches and people like, that's what we'll go with.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to mention that Phil Spencer, he's been doing lots of interviews, and in one of the interviews, he pointed out that they lose around $200 on the sale of an Xbox just to get the console out there and into the, out to the people, and hope they either buy games or subscribe to Game Pass with it.
Yeah. Now, was that on both of them in general, or a particular one, like the Series X or S?
That was on both of them in general.
Okay.
Like, I kind of averaged out to that. There's another quote, and it made me laugh so hard. Jim Ryan, that's the head of Sony, right? Was quoted as saying that that Xbox is trying to turn PlayStation into Nintendo by taking away or with their exclusivities and everything. It's like,
and it's like, where's this even coming from? Phil Spencer kind of hit him back with a comment that was saying, oh, well, blocking this acquisition of Activision Blizzard will make Xbox smaller, and that's what Sony wants.
Yeah.
It's just, some of the banter is crazy.
turn Sony into Nintendo and sell 115 million consoles in like.
Exactly.
Yeah, Nintendo's not exactly hurting. That's a pretty interesting comparison.
Yeah.
Actually, so that just made me. Was Nintendo. Oh, I guess that Bayonetta game's that'll be a Nintendo exclusive, I imagine. Yeah, I was gonna say, did they have a good showing at the Video Game Awards? But they at least had that, and of course the clip from the movie. So yeah, you guys have anything else you want to mention about the drama of the Xbox versus PlayStation Activision acquisition?
Between me and you guys, I don't play a lot of Call of Duty.
No.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it either way.
Yeah.
I mean, for the average though, like of four of us, and I mean it. I think Call of Duty has already rocketed to the top of the sales chart already for this year. Like,
they sell. That's for sure. People like them.
It does sell. I mean, it's not for everybody, but they sell.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last time I really actively played it was on the PS3.
Yeah.
And I tried, what was that new free one, Warzone?
Mm-hmm.
Tried that a little bit, and I was just like, meh.
Yeah, I dabbled in Warzone for a couple weeks there, but it's not my jam. Not my jam at all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's move on into what we've been playing. And who wants to go first here?
I guess I could.
All right, Brent,
Yeah.
take her away.
All right. Well, after an extremely incredibly long time, I finally finished Far Lone Sail.
Hey.
And I really enjoyed the game, but I guess I was very much let down by the ending. And, I hear it from Ryan all the time that, many of these, types of experiences are about the journey. And I get that. And I'm there for the journey too, but I just didn't expect the end to be so, I don't know, incomplete, kind of lonely. But I guess the whole game was kind of lonely in general, anyways. And, not really like leading to any kind of conclusion. So that kind of threw me off just a little bit. But overall, really loved the game. Enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a lot of fun.
Rob and I
Then I
are
started
both
playing
sitting
the
here
second
grinning
I know.
because we're like, you gotta try the second one, Brent. You gotta do it.
I
Yeah.
did. I started playing it and got so ticked off with the new controls that I'm like, I'm not touching this again for a while. I mean, I figured them out, but it was just really annoying. So I'm
Gotcha.
like, yeah, I'll come back to it when I'm, in better mood. Then I'll enjoy it more.
Good plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other big thing I've been playing, well, maybe not big thing, has been 2 Point Campus. And gotta say, even though I really have loved and enjoyed 2 Point Hospital, and I still play it, and I played the heck out of it since release, I think they have a serious winner with 2 Point Campus. Very similar but different. The way in which you build a campus. Basically, you're building school campuses. You're putting in schoolrooms to educate students, and the better they do, the more money you earn. The more rewards you earn for your campus. And so it's very similar to 2 Point Hospital, and that the campus staff and the teachers are like the doctors and nurses from 2 Point Hospital, and the students are like the patients from 2 Point Hospital. But a very different dynamic, and a lot more intricate and subtle as to, because you have to keep the students happy on multiple levels so that they learn better, and then you have to train the teachers to also help them to learn better. So as they do better in each passing grade, you earn more money and more acclaim for your particular school. And, set up pretty much the same as 2 Point Hospital as well, where you go from school to school to school. But with this, each school seems to have a theme, whether it's technology or cooking or design work. And that kind of really is a bit refreshing because, I mean, at least for me, 2 Point Hospital lagged a bit because it was all the same. It was hospitals, just in different scenarios and, different things going on with them. But with 2 Point Campus, they're like entirely capsulated little different worlds that each have their own intricacies and idiosyncrasies that you have to learn to be able to make the students successful. And it was quite challenging and really interesting. I've enjoyed what I played of it so far. It's on Game Pass, which is where I've been playing it for PC. And I definitely think they've got another winner on their hands with 2 Point Campus, and I'm sure it'll see just as much, if not, more longevity than 2 Point Hospital. So
Awesome. I can't wait to try it.
Oh, I guarantee you'll like it. You
Yeah.
definitely will. It's, again, it's a little different at first, kind of like, like the controls in Far. But, you'll get it and you'll get the gist of it.
And what's the last game here that you got?
The
on the
last game I've been playing, I've gone back to many, 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 many times, and have never been able to finish it. But this time I'm very set on trying to finish the game. which was Days Gone. Um, I I was thrown off by the game many, many times because there's a lot of different components to it. It's, it seems a lot like Last of Us. It seems a lot like other games. Um, Portions of it remind me a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh.
And it's just this mishmash of a whole bunch of different style of games. But once you get a little deeper into it, it's actually a really decent story, some great gameplay, some excellent mechanics, and one of those games that I'm starting to feel that you really have to follow through to the end to really appreciate it. And I mean, it's too bad that it didn't sell very well and it didn't get much acclaim because it really is just an excellent, zombie post-apocalyptic survival game. And
Right.
I think it should have got a hell of a lot more credit than it did. Maybe it just, hit wrong. Maybe it just wasn't in people's interest at the time. Maybe it was already, there was too many games of the same type out at the same time. But I think it fell way under the radar. It was kind of unfair to the game because it's really, really good. Like, I mean, a lot more people have been giving it a chance. And, even what I've been reading, they say that, they were very surprised at how much they enjoyed the game later on. Sadly, because it didn't do well, there will probably never be a sequel to it, which I'm kind of disappointed for because I could see it. The devs working on what they already laid out and probably making it even tighter and better game than Days Gone was. And it could be right up there, I mean, even on the same level, but in the same tiers as like The Last of Us. It
Oh, wow.
definitely could be. Yeah.
Awesome. That's another game that's in my pile of, in the backlog pile. One of these days.
One of the days. One of these days.
Damon, why don't you share what you've been up to?
Sounds good. One of them I know you've been playing, and actually you've been playing probably a bit more than me, so I'll let you take the lion's share of that one. But Splatoon 3 is Splatoon 2, but newer and with more stuff. So therefore, it's instantly fantastic and a great multiplayer game. And if anyone's looking for a shooter on the Switch, you got to try it. I'm sure we'll hear your. I haven't played any of the new season of it yet. Unfortunately, I haven't.
Funny
Kinda
enough,
fell
I've played like one match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of fell out of the loop after the last Splatfest there. So, one game I do want to talk a bit more about is Sonic Frontiers, because I've been playing a lot of Sonic Frontiers lately, and it's a solid game. It's to the point where I actually think it was criminally unrepresented in the Game Awards on a few different levels. It's actually a lot of the reviews kind of like to bag on it for the technical limitations, being that there's some pop-in. I'm sure everyone's heard of the pop-in, but I think they had to kind of pander to the hardware that's the Nintendo Switch in order to kind of get everything running. And it is on every platform, and I can understand Sega wanting to be able to put it on every platform. As we mentioned, the 115 million Switches out there, that's a lot of people that have access to Sonic Frontiers now. It's a great game. The moment-to-moment running around in that game it's hyper fast. I'm constantly have a smile on my face while I'm playing it. It's just pinballing all over the place. Like it's fun. It's a fun game, and that's at the end of the day, that's what we do. Why we play games is because we want to have a good time, and that game is fantastic. And don't sleep on it. It's worth a play, and it should have been in the Game of the Year conversation. I think that might be alluding to my list for the end of the year. Yeah. Anybody played Sonic Frontiers?
Not yet,
No.
but I will now.
Yeah.
No, I've been waiting for someone I know to say they liked it, honestly.
Yeah.
I've
Exactly.
just waiting for some sort of sale on it too. Like it's
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
I'm so glad to hear you say you enjoyed it. It's been getting decent reviews, so
Yeah, it is, and like you can see, like the critic review is different than the user score, and there's a very vocal and passionate fan base behind it, and I'm a member of that. So it's a great game. And other than that, I've been playing a lot of stuff on the Steam Deck. None of it's new. Maybe a little bit of it's new, but it's literally changed the way that I've been playing games, in the sense where I paused my Game Pass subscription because I wasn't using it, because I have access to my Steam library on the couch or in the bed or wherever, and I've been doing things like playing PC games from, say, a good example is a Shadow of Mordor. That was a game I picked up early Xbox One, and
Yeah.
I loved it. Great game. Never finished it, and but now that I can just pick up and play, and I'm essentially playing at higher ultra settings, albeit at like a lower resolution, but it's okay on a smaller screen. And I've also been playing like Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. I've been playing just like all these games from like kind of that era. You can run them at amazing PC settings on a handheld. It's awesome. There's it can be a little finicky with games at time, but like if you can Google search and look some stuff up on Reddit, so there's dedicated people that will find all kinds of ways to get things running, and you can change your page files and your swap files, and you can do all kinds of crazy things in order to get games running the way that you want them to. And it's been a good year for the Steam Deck.
So you're pretty
right on.
you're pretty pro
Yeah.
Steam Deck?
Yeah, I was going to do an unboxing of it, but the unboxing was because it basically just comes in this. Like it had like a cardboard wrap around it. Like there was really not much else to unbox. I was going to unbox it. It would have been the shortest video in history. Like, okay, here we go. There it is. But yeah, now that I've kind of cut my teeth on it a little bit, I would like to do a more thorough review on it. Like I said, it has changed the way that I've been doing gaming. Yeah.
Any
It's,
nits about it? Anything that you're like if they could?
It is a bit big. It is a bit big. Like I understand. Like it's like everyone's seen the size of it, but like kind of the best comparison I'll show you with the Switch, and everyone has compared it to the Switch, but they only compare it to the Switch with the regular Joy-Con. I'm going to compare it to with the Split Pad Pro.
Oh.
They're actually almost the same size.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's great.
Right?
Okay.
So that kind of, but the thing is, like I like asymmetrical thumbsticks because I'm the Xbox guy, and the thumb it's a bit of a stretch to go all the way over with the thumb a little bit. I would have preferred it be where the D-pad is where I thought the analog stick. That's the nitpicky thing of, and people kind of complain about the battery life a little bit. But I run most of the games at 40 hertz, and that kind of solves that problem. You can actually lock your frame rate to 40 hertz, and you can change your screen. You can lock the frame rate to 40 frames, and then lock your screen to 40 hertz, and then you get better battery life. And it still feels like 60 FPS. It's kind of a weird in between, but it feels way better than 30. It feels way more than 30.
Huh.
But it's not.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Well-
that's what I've been doing.
Excellent. Well, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go next. We'll leave Rob for last. I have quite the list here. I am not gonna go into huge explanations on most of the stuff, but I will elaborate on Splatoon 3. It's exactly as Damon said. It is Splatoon 2, but with more stuff and more things to do. I have to ask you though, Damon. Communication errors.
Yeah. That yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of surprised it got best multiplayer game at the Game Awards, just due to the technical issues. That's a problem.
So I've been streaming it a lot on our Twitch channel. And so I've been keeping track because, you're a little more conscious of, instead of just clicking through it, you're realizing that you're you're getting kicked out of the queue and you got to hop back in. And I'm averaging in an hour of playing between 5 to 8 times a communication error occurring. And what happens when a communication error occurs is basically they basically happen after you've finished the match already, and you're like waiting with the people that you were in the match with before, the ones that decided to continue. And then out of nowhere, just all of a sudden, like, it doesn't happen right at the end of the match or anything. Like, it's usually while you're sitting there waiting, and you've been waiting for 30 to 45 seconds to a minute already, and then all of a sudden and then all of a sudden communication error, and then you just gotta hop back in. So I even thought I did some testing. I mean, I was sure it's not my Wi-Fi, because when I'm playing, my Switch is right here, and 2 feet away is it's the wireless router. So it's a pretty strong signal, to say the least. So then I I wired my dock up, like, to a Cat5, and still just as many. So it's definitely nothing to do on that end of it. It's definitely server side, and it's frustrating. That is my only angry takeaway from that game, is that, like, because sometimes it'll happen twice in a row, and other times I could play for like 45 minutes, no problems, and then yeah. How do you feel about the if people leave the match and then they just stop the match? Or have you run into that?
That would happen in Splatoon 2 as well. They would just drop it out, wouldn't they? I thought that's what they did as well.
I thought in Splatoon 2 you would just be like, well, man, why we kick their butt so hard? And then you'd see that there was somebody with 0.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Because now, it'll
right.
If someone drops out, the match just stops, and that can be a little frustrating, just because of the load times and everything on the Switch. Because you definitely feel that, and you've been waiting 3 minutes or something already to get into a match, and the matches are only 3 minutes to start with, and and then you're 10 seconds in, and it like pops up the message that you're not going to be penalized in any way, but you're getting kicked out of the match because somebody dropped out. So I hope to see some fixes to that. But other than that, I'm super happy. They have their kind of free battle pass in there now, which is cool. Matchmaking, I think, could still use some love, but because I mean, sometimes I'll play a match against a team that we just slaughter, and then other times we get slaughtered, and there's just doesn't seem to be a very good dynamic for that. Well, also on Game Pass, I tried the game Tiny Kim after Rob kind of mentioned it there. I can definitely describe the game as a Pikmin-like, with a lot more platforming in it.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I put a few hours into that. Had a great time. Next up, played an indie game called Necrosmith. And if I had to describe it, it's a tower defense game where you build your soldiers. And what happens is you collect body parts, and they just keep increasing in like I was gonna say value, but like you start off with you start collecting skeleton parts, and then you're collecting zombie parts, and then you're collecting skeleton orc, and then like they just keep getting better and better and better. But you've got to you build your army with these body parts that you collect, and it's pretty fun. I've actually played that quite a bit. Also, for another indie one, is a game called Dome Keeper. I don't know if anyone's heard about this, but it's a cross of like a mini shooter with SteamWorld Dig. Yeah. So
okay.
So you between waves of bad guys, you SteamWorld dig below yourself to find resources that you got to run back up to the dome, and then you do your upgrades on your gun and your shield and special weapons and stuff. And so there's always this crazy push and pull of like, man, do I got enough time for another run before the aliens show up, and I got to defend the dome? Or yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was feeling like playing something a little, I don't know, emo, I'll just say. and I loaded up Spiritfarer. And yeah, it's a great little, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, you know, you're ferrying these people, you know, to their final destination. And you know, you got a boat, and you got to build up everything on it, and you got to feed the people, and they give you requests for, like, you build them a cabin, and you got to, you know, build special things that they want. And, you know, so there's resource collecting and going to multiple places on the map time and again to collect resources, and you know, open doors you couldn't before because you get a new ability, and but it's super chill. Like it's very, you don't feel any urgency while playing it at all, and I kind of needed a game like that just for a little while there. But I'm still working on that one, and I'd like to finish it up. It's a pretty good time. A couple of games that have been making pooping fun again.
When was it ever not?
It's
Okay, making pooping even more fun. How about that?
Loop Hero?
Poop Hero, yeah. We got Marvel Snap I've been playing. And you know, I'm not super into these card battling games, but yeah, I mean, I think IP wise, you know, I have an interest and a knowledge of it, so that definitely helps. But the gameplay is great. You know, you collect your cards, and I don't know if you haven't tried it. It's basically, you have like 3 points on the map, and you're battling against someone with your cards, and whoever controls 2 of those 3 points at the end of the round, you know, that's how you win. And then the snap part of it is, for every round you play, you win these cubes, and if you really think you're gonna win, you can do a snap, and that locks you in for like a double or nothing situation on winning the cubes. And yeah, it adds a whole kind of like level of danger to that. If I played it more, like if I played it a lot more hardcore, they do have a battle pass in there to help you collect more cards and better cards and everything, but I haven't partook in that. But for a card battling game, it's got my attention, and even when I'm not pooping, I play it a little bit. So when I got some waiting somewhere, you know. And
I might have to check that out.
yeah, it's free. It's on you know, iOS, Android, and you can get it on Steam if you want to play it on the computer.
Oh,
So
cool.
I don't know if there's cross progression though. So whatever one you commit to might just have to be the one.
Yeah.
The other one is this is actually announced during the Video Game Awards. Vampire Survivors dropped on mobile, and it is a great port, and it's free. So I was so worried when I heard that you know, it was so much stuff was going to be locked behind paywalls or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I've found is once in a while you can continue, like, get an extra life in a level if you watch a video. And every once in a while they'll let you double the coins that you get out of a level by watching a video. And it's not even it's so non-intrusive, and I think they've done it right. Like,
That sounds good.
so it's the only thing that, I mean, I would rather play Marvel Snap over this, only because, and maybe this is just a me thing again, I'm not a big fan of controlling things, moving things by sliding on the touchscreen. I'm not a fan of that. And that sometimes you got to get really like moving fast because you're trying to dodge things coming at you. And yeah, but you know, if you haven't tried it anywhere else, it's a good way to try it. Vampire Survivors free on mobile. And the last tool I'll mention here is I finally fired up Returnal on PS5. And been having a lot of fun with that. I find it's definitely a challenging game, but it's not so challenging that I'm not playing it anymore. And also just because I was spending a little more time on my PS5, I threw in Spider-Man Miles Morales because I completed 92% of everything in the game, and I went in and finished up that last 8% and finished her up. Yeah. So that's what I've been up to for the last 8 weeks. Whew. All right, Rob. Take us away.
I'm trying to think of a game you didn't mention there. What I've been playing here, I guess. Atari released a 50th anniversary collection here. Not just so much a collection; it's almost like a museum piece. And the games are what they are. I mean, there are quite a few games on there, but what I've really been enjoying with it is watching the videos, like the interviews with the like Nolan Bushnell and a variety of other people there. Like you hear one guy joking about doing coke in the like early days of Atari stuff, right? And it's been good. It's a fair price for it too. It's on all the things. There's something kind of neat about like playing Yar's Revenge on either like a Switch or on the computer. There, honestly, it's
where'd you pick it up on?
I picked it up on the computer.
Okay.
I picked it up on the computer, but I hear a lot of people having a lot of fun with it on the Switch as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where the Switch hardware isn't holding it back because I mean, it's but they included actually some Lynx games and some Jaguar games as well, which is kind of cool. So 2600, 5200, 7800 Lynx, Jaguar, and then of course a lot of arcade games, which I mean Atari made quite a few arcade games back in the day. And then it's like just watching through a lot of the history pieces, like the art and everything. Like it's a nice kind of trip back in history, especially for someone our age who's kind of grew up with it, right? 50th anniversary might be a bit I don't know. It's technically they were a company in 72, but I think they jumped the gun a little bit early, but a great collection.
Awesome.
And there'll be some trivia questions from it on the Jeopardy Bean Boozled thing coming December 22nd. Next, I finally bit the bullet on the last Borderlands game I didn't own. Tiny Tina Wonderlands. Otherwise known as the game where Rob conquers his fears of mimic chess. I do walk up to a lot of chess where I just kind of like French kiss as I like, how close do I have to get to it but without hitting E? I haven't hit a mimic chest yet, which means there will be one time where everything's awful.
Yeah.
Evidently you can get swallowed by them as well and go to a separate realm, which it's not great, but I mean it's a great game. Like the whole reason I finally played is because the whenever they do Borderlands does a game like this where Tiny Tina's the dungeon master, it's really great writing. The gameplay is the same as every other Borderlands game. I don't know how they really need to find a way to kind of mix it up a little. Well, I don't know how you mix it up, but it's the writing and the acting. Like Andy Samberg's in there, and really famous comedian is like a robot. I can't remember her name. But yeah, just really good acting, really good writing. And yeah, got it on a Steam sale. And great game. Thumbs up.
Very nice.
Next one, speaking of free games, I feel like Ryan kind of set the pace for playing some free ones this week, or indie, or I played some more Fall Guys.
Oh.
Like quite a lot of Fall Guys. I ended up kind of going down a rabbit hole with it. They added, when they went free to play, they added a bunch of progression stuff. And I'm kind of a sucker for that, where it's like, oh, if I play one more time, I get this achievement, which gives me these bonus coins, which gives me this, which means I can get this outfit.
Did you pick up the Battle Pass?
No.
Okay.
I still don't want to throw money at it, but
Yeah.
it's that's a good thing. You don't have to. Like, there's never a technical advantage to do it. Just the cool outfits, right? So, and they're doing a lot more with, like, they have duo matches, they have squad matches, they have a bunch of like time trial matches, and they had one where it was a volleyball match. So they're doing a lot with it, and especially the price being free, and it's still a blast to play. So that's Fall Guys. Coming soon to a theater near you. And last one I played, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm glad it's good, because I was really worried it was going to be awful. Is Return to Monkey Island. It's so freaking good. Like, it's just it's everything I wanted it to be as far as the writing. The art style actually is growing on me. It's a little bit different, but it really works with the game, and it feels like a closure to the whole story, which is great, because it never really had a closure. Free on Game Pass, and yeah, honestly, it's I don't really know what else to say. If you've never played a Monkey Island, it's a good starting off point. You don't need to know the rest of the story to get into it. They do kind of like a catch up thing, and just really funny writing, just great story, and they have the step right in and I'm an idiot kind of level, which I appreciate. It's like where the puzzles are quite a bit easier.
Awesome.
Because as you get older, trying to figure out obtuse puzzles is a little more. No one's got time for that. So, Return to Monkey Island. That's a game that I've been playing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it. Yeah.
I'll let you keep your hand on the mic, Rob, and maybe we've been at this for a while now, so maybe you can take us home.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for joining us on our once every 8 or 10 week podcast we run here. If you like what you hear and would like to hear more, come to our Facebook page at look for the Grumpy Old Gamers, and we post funny articles and video game memes, and start conversations with our amazing group of individuals involved in our community. Thank you. I could not remember the term for what a group of people was called. It's been a long week. If you like reading some reviews that we posted like 12 years ago, we have a webpage as well at thegrumpyoldgamers.com, which I still pay for and don't use. I don't think we've posted anything in there since last year, but lots of stuff in the hopper that we're going to eventually do. Also just a reminder that this month is the Edmonton Food Bank raising month, so there is a link on the page. It's pinned to the top. Any donations will be put into place for you get an entry into some giveaways that we're totally working on right now. That'll be posted soon. December has just gone by like a freaking like a hurricane.
Yeah, I can't believe we're already 2 weeks in.
Yeah, it's hit us like a wrecking ball. something. I can't remember how that song goes. But anyway, thanks guys for joining us as well to make it a grumpy old gang video. And yeah, thanks again for everyone. Have a great night and take care.
Good
See ya.
Bye.
Take care.